after this match against FC Dallas. We have about 10 minutes or so for your questions. As usual, please use your function to ask any questions and we'll go through the room. Let's start with Mike Craven. Go ahead, Mike.
Coach, you scored 3 against Houston. This lineup tonight didn't have some of those guys up top that we're used to seeing. I guess what was the thought process, or what kind of precipitated that move to make those changes in a rivalry game?
Well, I think it's definitely a rivalry game. Obviously, that's a worthy question. But for us, we have guys that have played significant minutes. Cecilio has been ill for the last couple of weeks, and it showed in the last game. So physically, we were worried about him. Drew Easy was only really in line for 30 minutes, so that was one. Obviously, we'll hopefully progress a little bit quicker. And Tomas similar had 90 and 90, and through a lot of our wellness checks and the screening, it was, his recovery was slow, so we were a little bit worried about him. And obviously we made a couple changes, a little bit of a structure change, which I think was good in some ways, and obviously maybe limited us offensively just from a structure standpoint in the first half. But I thought Danny came in and did a pretty good job. Aiden was solid, and Johan gave good minutes as well. But the goals change games, and that's obviously been the theme for us. And it's unfortunate. I don't know if the guys offsides before the one on their corner kick, but clearly they got the corner kick and that scored, and the game changed. We didn't have or match their little bit of uptick in energy in the second half, and once the goal went in, the game changes a bit.
Were you happy with the way that the system worked, at least defensively, and in the midfield, at least for that first 45 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I think defensively they had very little. They had some shots from distance that I think maybe Brad got his hands on one, but the idea was obviously to prevent them. They like to come through the middle. They combine well through the central areas. They have 4 on the line at times, so they do run behind the line with wide guys as well. So there were some concerns there, and obviously with the group that we had, we felt it would give us a good defensive structure, and then for the most part, it did that. I don't think they had a whole lot. They lost their legs a bit, and we missed. Obviously, Manny missed a good chance. Diego missed a chance. We had one where we could roll across the face, and we missed. But that was it. Obviously, it's about getting the first goal in this game because 3 games in 7 days. Obviously, the weather can play its toll. The field was heavy also, so you could see the tempo wasn't the normal tempo of most of the games as well. So disappointing.
Thank you, Mike. Let's go with Chris Bills, followed by John Lupo.
Thanks, Mauricio. Hi, Josh. I mean, like you explained there, I don't know if it would have been reasonable to expect a lot of those guys to play 90 both on Wednesday and tonight, but why not sub them on at halftime? I guess is the question. Given that those guys got you 45 and it's 0-0, why not make some of those moves at half?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy after the fact of the result to say that. I mean, the first half, again, they didn't have anything. They didn't really threaten us, and certainly we could have brought some guys in. We were very mindful of the minutes, and 20 minutes after the game, it's an easy question, and it's an easy option, given that we lost the game. But from where we were at, we created a few good chances, and we really gave them nothing. So from the starting point of that, it was pretty good. But bringing energy and intensity and tempo, that lacked a little bit in the second half, and obviously the goal came and that changed things. But that's the decisions we made.
And I guess for the fans that made the trip up here for a rivalry game, and I know you've been talking about the rivalry aspect all week, and we're maybe a little bit miffed to see the lineup. I guess what would you just say to them for coming up all the way up here and making noise?
Yeah, our fans are incredible, and we're extremely proud of that, and very grateful and thankful for them coming up. Again, we also have to make decisions based on the health of our players, the long-term goals, and obviously, between a couple guys with Cecilio and Tomas, maybe, whether it was a half or not, but we were certainly more thoughtful to making sure they were all right. Cecilio was ill for a couple of weeks, and he was battling through the last game, and you could tell his energy was off. So putting him out there again from the get-go wasn't in the cards for us. Didn't make the most sense. And Tomas, again, he's played probably the most minutes, covers the most ground for us, and we wanted to get, and we were expecting to get these guys in there. Obviously, a different scoreline, it would have been better. But we brought in CC and we gave up a goal. It was a careless mistake, and we got punished for it.
Thank you, Chris. Let's go with John Lupo, followed by Bam Bear.
Thank you, Mauricio. Josh, I know a lot of people were waiting to see Sebastian, and you brought him on in the 62nd minute. So just talk about what you saw out there tonight from him and what you thought of his performance.
I think he's a good player. He obviously has the ability to move around the field. He's got very soft feet. And again, he's looking for passes that can be impactful in putting balls in front of goal, and he connects really nicely with players. It was challenging, obviously, as it was pretty much 2-0 when he came in. We gave up a goal rather quickly, but him combining and certainly playing in spaces and running behind the line, I think those are things we look forward to in the future with him. Obviously, having him around Tomas and Diego, Cecilio, getting that understanding is going to take a little bit. But he's a good player. There's no doubt about it. And obviously we got a good collection of players around him as it is. So it's bringing him into something that's pretty good and strong already. But then getting him more up to speed and certainly more acclimated to us. And I expect him to gain more minutes rather quickly. He trained 2 days with the team, maybe a day with the team actually. So 30 minutes was all we were talking about tonight from certainly from our high performance side of things. It was limited, but I was glad to get him out there.
Hi, Josh.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks, Mauricio. Hi, Josh. Getting back to the fans a little bit. Obviously, seeing 600 fans or more in an away game for an MLS match is something we don't often see. What kind of, when you walked onto the field, like what were you thinking and what were you seeing, and how did it affect the team?
Yeah, no, it's incredible. I mean, we talked about it going in, coming out of the locker room at the beginning of the game, and we've seen on Twitter, we've read about it, we've seen the videos, and knew they were coming strong. And it's an incredible fan base. I told these guys, we play in the best stadium in front of the best fans, and that's evident. I mean, they've traveled to many of our games in big numbers, and today was even bigger and better than the previous. So I'm disappointed for them, and obviously, we'll take the criticism for maybe the lineup and choices that we weren't able to get the result tonight. But we'll continue to get better and again do everything we can for our fans. They deserve everything because they're fantastic.
Mark Turner, and then Claire.
Thanks, Mauricio. Coach, can you tell us what it is you're seeing in practice that makes you believe Manny Perez can lead the line at number 9? Because he seemed to struggle this evening, and just wondering what you're seeing, what you can tell fans you're seeing. This Jesse's the best pick for that role.
Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat, we don't have a striker, an out-and-out striker. And, Johnny played significant minutes the other day after being out for a while. So he wasn't really, in the discussion of being a starter. And as I mentioned, CC's been the only other striker that's really started for us. So we are a little bit limited there. For him, he works hard. He should have scored a goal tonight. I mean, I did a good job, obviously, arriving at the back post on that one. Couple runs in behind that maybe he's a little bit off with the timing, but again, it's also a product of where we're at. It's unfortunate we lost both our strikers at the beginning of the year, and we haven't replaced them yet, or at least Musa hasn't arrived, and it'll take him some time as well to get up to speed. But we've been trying a number of different guys, and obviously today we had a little bit different structure as well. But he had an opportunity to score, and unfortunately we weren't able to capitalize on that. But it's part of where we're at, unfortunately, with options.
I believe Claire left the room, so we'll wrap it up with Mike Craven.
Yeah, Coach, your next 6 games are against opponents that are in between you guys and the playoffs. Is it fair to really put pressure on this next month and a half as kind of I was about to say a bad word, but you have to do it to get off the pot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I mean, again, there's a good amount of games left, but we gotta be getting maximum points. And like you said, it's against teams that will be fighting for, the same objective that we are, getting to the playoffs, getting enough points to be in contact with the playoffs. And, it's definitely, your phrase I understand, but we got to perform. We got to start performing more. We got to start performing more consistently. And, obviously we have introduction of Sebastian, and we've got a couple of guys that got healthy. So we have some selections and obviously competition within the group. So it'll be nice going forward, but we got to get this group to a good place. And obviously, points are a premium. We go on the road against Salt Lake next, and we have a couple of home games. So extremely critical points.